Mr. Chairman, Mr. Ranking Member, and members of the subcommittee, my name is Ben Affleck, and I am the founder of the Eastern Congo Initiative. ECI is the only U.S.-based grant-making and advocacy organization entirely focused on working with and for the people of Eastern Congo, an area that carries the unwanted distinction of being the deadliest and most volatile region of the country and one of the deadliest in the world. According to the United Nations, the crisis in Eastern Congo has displaced an estimated 1.7 million Congolese and has led to over 1,000 rapes being committed every month. The International Rescue Committee estimates that 5.4 million people have lost their lives in the conflict since 1998. Many of these deaths were children under the age of 5. Not all were killed in combat, but rather perished from the ravages that accompany this horrific region: malaria, pneumonia, malnutrition, and diarrhea. ECI invests in Congolese efforts that help protect the most vulnerable among the population in Congo, including child soldiers, survivors of sexual violence. ECI works closely with community-based groups focused on education, economic opportunity, capacity building, and legal reform. I thank you for your attention to Congo and for holding this important hearing. On behalf of ECI, I request to submit a complete written statement for the record. Today's hearing occurs on the 100th anniversary of International Women's Day, which I also think is important to recognize, and I think it's particularly appropriate to call attention to the particular suffering of women and girls in Eastern Congo, as well as the undeniable strength they exhibit in the face of ongoing atrocities. I'm also pleased to recognize Cindy McCain, who is with us here today and who recently joined ECI as a founding member and investor. Cindy and I just returned from Eastern Congo, where we saw firsthand the tragedy and triumph of the Congolese people. While large parts of Eastern Congo remain under the control of armed groups, there are many reasons, most of them rooted in the strength and fortitude of their people, to be hopeful about Congo's future. I want to share with you the story of a remarkable woman named Laba Kamana, who exemplifies the potential of the Congolese people to transform themselves and their society. Laba was captured by rebel soldiers at the age of 14 in South Kivu and held as a sex slave for over 2 years. She was raped every day virtually by her captors until she found her freedom through the thick jungle and what makes up the second largest rainforest in the world. She discovered she was pregnant with the child of one of her rapists. The counselors of a remarkable Congolese organization called Let Africa Live found Laba. They took her in. They provided her with counseling and job training. And while caring for her new daughter, she used her skills to start a small business and earn enough income to return to school. Laba is now 22 years old. I met her. She's wonderful. She's in her 3rd year of studying law, and she advocates for the rights of women using her own story. Since my first visit to Congo more than 5 years ago, I've witnessed remarkable efforts to improve governance, promote economic growth, and reduce conflict. Unfortunately, despite some positive movement, the record over these last 5 years is not promising. Congo risks heading into another deeper spiral of violence that could lead to more fighting and suffering, and that could risk destabilizing surrounding African countries. In 2006, millions of Congolese voted for the first time in a free and fair democratic election, voting in more than 50,000 polling places around the country. The Congolese people elected Joseph Kabila as president. It was a period of great excitement and high hopes, and the United States, indeed, as testified to by some of the other panelists, played a very important role. Starting in 2007, the U.S., along with others in the West, drew back involvement. Instead of continuing a high level of engagement to consolidate a new and fragile democracy, Congo was treated as if it was a well-functioning state from which the United Nations mission in Congo could be safely withdrawn. This notion was quickly dispelled when rebels waged a new battle against the government in Eastern Congo in 2007 and 2008 that brought another terrible round of death, displacement, and destruction. Our government has a long history of involvement in the Congo, from our shameful role in the murder of Patrice Lumumba and the 3-decade support of Mobutu to some very admirable recent efforts. In the early 2000s, the United States government helped bring to the table various forces then fighting in Congo. The U.S. government also provided key early funding for the 2006 elections and played a major role in helping peace and development return to the Congo. About this, there is no question. In the past few years, Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, as also testified to by Ambassador Yamamoto, visited the region, and USAID has escalated its efforts in Eastern Congo. Also, USAID has provided millions of dollars in humanitarian assistance to the Congo since the mid-1990s. This commitment has indeed paid dividends in Congo. But with conflict persisting and elections coming up, we must develop a cohesive strategy and fully engage on this issue. Today, with national elections only 8 months away, on November 27th, the U.S. is not focused on Congo, even with events like last week's attack on the President's residence in Kinshasa. That, paired with Congo's recent history, should remind everybody of the fragility of Congo's progress and stability. The United States government can and should play an active role in ensuring this November's elections are free and fair. An electoral outcome that is questioned could easily perpetuate another downward spiral of violence, division, and rupture. And the last time Congo collapsed, armies came in from across Africa, and I said before, 5 million people died. 5 million people have died since 1998 because of the conflict in Eastern Congo. We must learn from history and do our part to see that this never happens again. In this time of heightened concern over federal spending, some suggest that austerity demands we turn a blind eye to the crisis in Congo. I believe nothing could be more misguided. It would simply be penny wise and pound foolish to allow the Congo to again fall into a state of crisis or further humanitarian chaos. If Congo were to collapse again, as members of this subcommittee know full well, the United States would respond generously with humanitarian assistance. We would try to save lives. But we have to do better. Our goal must be to avert humanitarian disaster by proactive investment and stronger diplomacy. The path to stability in today's Congo requires fostering stable elections and preventing another disaster that could easily require hundreds of millions of dollars in assistance. I humbly suggest that the U.S. government take a hard look at its current commitment and find a way to do more. Come November, we must be able to look ourselves in the eye and say that we did what our principles demanded. We helped democracy emerge in a place where tragedy was the alternative. In November 2010, the Eastern Congo Initiative released a white paper. Here it is. Strengthening United States foreign policy in the Democratic Republic of Congo. They do titles differently in D.C. than we do back home. This paper, commissioned and reviewed by experts, encourages steps the U.S. should take to promote progress in Congo. I request a summary of the paper should be included in the record of this hearing.
Without objection, so ordered.
Thank you. I've included a more detailed explanation of the steps we believe are necessary in the written testimony. 1. The U.S. government must do more to support a multidimensional strategy to protect civilians, women, girls, boys, and men, from the onslaught of violence in Eastern Congo. 2. The U.S. government must do more to support the 2011 elections, which we've heard about already a little bit today. In addition to providing diplomatic support, the U.S. should support robust election monitoring by Congolese civil society and by credible international organizations. 3. To ensure that the United States steps up to the serious challenges to stability in Africa posed by the Congo, the President or the Secretary of State should appoint a special representative to the Great Lakes region of Central Africa. The appointment should occur as soon as possible in order to coordinate the U.S. response to the challenges in the Congo. We also believe that the treatment of conflict minerals, demobilization, and security sector reform, as well as the Lord's Resistance Army, are of serious concern and deserve a comprehensive approach and cohesive strategy. This is an ambitious agenda, but it can be accomplished. In December 2005, then Senator Obama introduced a bill called the Democratic Republic of Congo Relief, Security, and Democracy Promotion Act of 2006. This bill had a bipartisan list of Senate co-sponsors, including then Senator Hillary Clinton. On December 6, 2006, it was passed by the House by voice vote. On December 22, 2006, President Bush signed the bill into law. The majority of our recommendations are found in this very law. They simply need to be implemented. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for your very strong support of this important legislation. We place special emphasis on full diplomatic support for the upcoming elections and the reappointment of a Great Lakes Special Advisor in the State Department. This special advisor would serve as a point of accountability and an important and necessary coordinating function. Maybe most relevant in these tough economic times, this appointment would inevitably ensure efficiencies are found across multiple investments and diplomatic efforts. We strongly believe that if we continue to place Congo on the back burner of U.S. policy, it will indeed come back to haunt us. The federal budget may indeed be a zero-sum game, but our morality, our sense of decency, our compassion for our fellow human beings is not. Recognizing one tragedy need not diminish understanding and empathy for another. Our basic humanity, our sense of compassion, is not a fixed number. It expands with our vision. It can grow with our purpose. But our moral compass is fixed. Our sunrise, our east as a nation, even when we have failed, has always pointed us towards what's right. Now, not what's easy, not what's cheap, but what we can live with, and how we can sleep with ourselves at night. The values we hold true are priceless to us. They are the soul of our nation. They are rooted in our Constitution, our Bill of Rights, our Declaration of Independence. We believe in being free from the tyranny of violence. We believe in life and liberty, and we believe that basic human rights are not just important, they're not just something to be worked toward, but a fundamental right to be demanded for all mankind. These ideas make us who we are. They make us great. But if our foreign policy does not reflect these ideals, it completely undermines them. I have seen firsthand the determination and the promise of the Congolese people. I hope you will consider visiting Eastern Congo to learn and see what I have. Any of you are welcome to come with me. The Congolese people simply want to live their lives in peace, earn a decent living, and raise their families, just like the rest of us. They want a voice in their country's governance. I will never give in to the naysayers who suggest Congo is hopeless or too complex. It is not. The 70 million people of Congo deserve a better tomorrow, and the Eastern Congo Initiative will do our small part to ensure that it does. It is in the interest of all of us here to support the people of the Congo move forward toward democracy and respect for human rights, and to move away from the multiple crises and horrors of the last 15 years. Thank you very much. It really is an honor to be here, and I'm happy to expand on any of these points to answer your questions.